Hello, welcome back to some ASG golf. Uh, what I'm doing today is one of you guys, JAA, was kind enough to purchase me a course for AGA, which is, as you can see here, Pinehurst number 2. He had said one of his favorite golfers was Payne Stewart. So, as some of you may know, the 1999 U.S. Open was won by Payne Stewart shortly before he died in a plane crash, and it was held at Pinehurst. So what I thought I would do is play that final round. He ended up beating Phil Mickelson by one stroke, and so he had to shoot a 70, which was even par, in order to win that. Ended up shooting one under for the whole tournament. So obviously Pinehurst was a tough challenge that year. So we'll see if the course, the ASG course, holds up to that. So I haven't played any practice rounds with this course, so I'll kind of be learning as I go along. Every course has different aspects to it that get a little easier as you play the course some. So in order to win the U.S. Open, I have to get a 70 out of Stewart this final round. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I thought about playing two golfers, but I have a hard time keeping track of what I'm doing when I have two separate golfers. So I thought this would be a fun project. So I'll probably break it up into two videos, do the first 9 holes, and then do the second 9 holes. So again, getting familiar with the course. So I did a pre-roll. I'm not for sure how it was in real life. I guess I could have looked, but it's calm winds with hard course conditions. And again, every course has its special thing. So it looks like Pinehurst is hard quite often, and that's what we ended up with today. What that means is that you add 10 yards roll to all fairway shots that land in the fairway, 5 yards to all green shots. And when you roll to see your distance for a putt, if you roll a 5 or 6 on the blue die, you subtract the other two numbers instead of, or you add rather instead of subtract. So when the course is normal, a 6 would do that. If the course is soft, then you always subtract the red and the white. So with hard conditions, a 5 or a 6 will result in you adding the roll as opposed to taking it away, if that makes any sense. You can see it in action probably as we go. And then also, with this being a U.S. Open, we're doing the U.S. Open rough, which when you land in the rough, if you roll a 6, you get a bad lie. When you're doing U.S. Open conditions, 4 to 6 is a poor lie. So I write that on my notes here. So again, a challenge to this game is trying to remember everything. And when I do the record button, quite often I, again, lose a few IQ points. Don't know why that is. I guess I'm distracted by doing the other things. And then, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll do the best we can. So again, I appreciate this very much. Pinehurst has a pretty rich tradition. And the courses I'm collecting are the ones that have been around a while, at least from the 60s, the ones that I can. Because, again, I just prefer older, as you all know. I do watch some modern golf, but with the Live Tour and all that stuff, it's kind of souring me. So I'm kind of drawing back to the old golf. So anyway, I appreciate this very much, and we should have some fun with this, see how it goes. So again, Payne Stewart needs to shoot an even 70 today to repeat what he did, and we'll see how the ASG golf course holds up. So they don't, again, you roll a 1 to 6 to see what kind of wind you have, and 1 to 5 is calm, 6 is strong winds. So apparently strong winds is not a big deal at Pinehurst, whereas Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, they actually have their own wind chart, and I think you have to roll a 1 not to have strong wind or at least moderate wind. So, but hard conditions, obviously, as you need a 3 to 6 to do that. 1 is soft, 2 is normal. So apparently that's a characteristic of this course. So there's special rules if you land in this stuff here, this orange stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't see what kind of, they got pine medium. Okay, so that's their tree, so that was good. And then I got, I tried to get like a, I got these for like every course, at least I'm working on it. So it's got the par and, you know, the conditions. We're doing the yellow tees today as this is round 4. So anyway, that's enough talk. We'll start playing some golf and see how it goes. All right, so let's see what we got here. So again, no wind to worry about. You had 5 yards flight to all the tee shots. If you land in the red grid here, it will roll off the green. If you hit in a yellow sand trap, follow the special instructions on the chart and putting chart too. So, all right. So we will aim here. Oh, I wanted to, one thing that I'm, again, as you have been following any of my ASG, I've been struggling with aiming. You know, aiming left or right of the center line just doesn't make sense to me because I'm not aiming left or right. I'm aiming where I'm aiming. But one thing that I thought might make sense, and any ASG veterans can pipe in on this, you know, when you're shaping a shot, to me that makes more sense that you might err in that direction. And again, some of the results here on the charts is if you're aiming a particular direction, then that makes it go further that direction. So like there's some extra penalties built into the game if you're aiming left or aiming right. And so what I think is making sense to me is when you have a dog leg that's not, has the red lines. So like some of them will have red, so the hole is taking the dog leg into account with that. But when you have something like this, that you're shaping it that way. So again, here you're going to the left. So my rule that I'm experimenting with is that if you hit into a dog leg, like if I want to lay up here and I hit short, then I'm not aiming left or right. But if I want to hit and follow this line, then I'm thinking that I'm shaping left. And so as a result, if I hit a 1 wood off of this tee, then I'm aiming left. So if the dog leg goes right, then I'm aiming right. And that makes sense to me because, again, off the tee here, you're wanting to shape it the left a little bit to follow that. And when you're trying to shape a little bit, whether it's a draw or a fade, you know, that's when you get into the issues where you overfade it, you know, get into a hook or a slice. And so to me, that makes sense. And then it also incorporates the results here on the chart to where that, you know, you are going one direction. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if that was the intent of George, the creator of this game, but that's what I'm going with, as it makes sense. You know, again, not aiming anywhere, just I struggled with that because you've got results that, you know, but again, you know, quite often the center line's not even in the fairway. It'll go from tee to green. And so, you know, I'm not aiming left or right. I'm aiming where I'm aiming. But if I've got a dog leg, you know, and I'm trying to play into that, then I am kind of trying to shape or aim left. And so I'm going to go with that. So hopefully that was clearer than mud. So this one, you know, again, I'm going to be hitting left. So we will take that into consideration because, again, he's a 5. And so his 1 wood goes about 260. With a 35 roll, and so he's going to be, you know, looking up around here. So anyway, I'm going to aim. I'm going to go 5 to the right of the center line, and again, we're going left because of the dog leg. So let's see what we got. So we got a 14. That's a 6. That's going to be 255 in the air. Add 5 yards flight to the tee, so that's going to be 260 in the air. We got a 5 on the direction chart. Now see, this is one of those where I was just talking about. It's if you're aiming left, it's left 5. If you're going right, it's right 35. So before it was like if I wasn't doing any aiming, it would be like I could pick which one I wanted, and that just doesn't seem fair, you know. So again, because I'm going left, we'll go with the left. So that's left 5, which is going to work out really good. And then we roll 35 with the hard conditions. That will be 45. So 10, 20, 30, 45. So nice drive by Payne Stewart off the tee. Got some good distance on that with the hard conditions. And then with the 5-yard on the flight, he obviously was, the tee is you know, off of a high tee, so to speak. So 290. Yep, that comes out right. So do my score here. And sorry for all the explanations. I know there's probably some people who would prefer me just to play, but I feel like more people would, you know, kind of be interested in what I'm doing and why. So anyway, we hit the fairway. We are 105, so that's there. And again, you got the red line, so you slide off the back or slide in the front. So I'm with the pin. Oh, we're doing yellow pins. Yeah, I forgot. So I could aim for the pin, but if you go right, you're in the fairway there. So I'm going to aim for the middle of the green there, as that will be safer, and it's not too far. So if we miss, we may get favorable miss toward the pin. So that's 100. And again, we're right on the center line there. So that's going to be a short wedge. Go to our short wedge chart. 100. And again, we're going for the center of the green, so we don't need the blue dye here. Oh, that could be good. So 24, going for the middle. Man, I should have went for the pin. that one would have been right on, but as it is, 0-0, so we land right on that. And then again, with the short charts, I don't know whether to add, you know, like when you have the second shot, you know, and you add 5 yards. Obviously, I do that when I'm using a regular club, but with this, you know, I don't know whether to add it to the short results or not. I haven't been, so I'm going to go with that for now. If anybody has anything to chime in there. So again, anything that's higher than a short wedge, I add the 5 yards if said so. But, you know, with this, you know, I feel like maybe that's built into the short wedge. So anyway, we're going to go with that. So he uses, short wedge, hits the green. So he hit the fairway and hit the green. So he's 5 by 5, and again, a 4 or a 5, this will be added. And it's not, so we got 5 by 5 is 23 minus 7. It's going to be 16, so he's got a 16-footer for birdie. We are on putting chart 2. I was looking at his card. He's at least on, and this card comes from the 80s set, oddly enough. Looks like you could argue that his better years were in the 90s, but at any rate, he's in the 80s set. Most people, at least the golfers I've been playing with, they're 11, and even their 33 is a 1. His is just a 2. So he does have a 2 on 22 as well. But again, he just has 1-1, and that's on 66. So, but anyway, we got a 16 footer for birdie. That's a 12. That's probably not going to do it. So a 29, and we 16. So he's 2 foot away. So he misses the birdie there. And a 46 is a 28, and that's going to be good enough to sink it for par. So par's again, he has to get a par for the whole round to win the tournament. All right, so deduct 5. So we got a a 4 par, 471. So got a little bit of distance here. So again, now here we have that same situation. So we're hitting into this dog leg if I use a 1-wood anyway. So I'm saying I'm aiming right for the sake of the results on the chart. And again, I kind of like that. I think that is making me feel better about this aiming business. So let's see, deduct 5 yards roll from any shot landing on or rolling on the red grid lines. So again, we got a false front here again. All shots landing on the white grid lines will bounce 10 farts forward. So same thing. That's going to roll off the back. And so those are the only things going on here. So let's see. His 1-wood hits about 2. Let's see. He's a 5, so he hits about 260 in the air. So that's going to land about here. And again, I'm playing the right angle here, so I will follow the center line, but I'm aiming right because of the dog leg. So with me landing here, I don't want to land in the fairway, or the rough rather, so I'm going to aim there, and we'll see how it goes. So that's a 1-wood. Again, we got hard conditions, got to keep that in mind. I will say one thing I'm really struggling with. I'm doing Pebble Beach with my 50s and 60s set, and as you might imagine, I'm on the second round, but Pebble Beach has got the strong wind in their own chart, and trying to do that extra bit of calculating I'm struggling with that. I know I'll get better at it, so when I don't have those strong winds, I feel like I'm remembering everything pretty well, but those strong winds are making it a little difficult for me to play. I like this game enough that I'm going to figure it out. So a 23 is a 5, which is his thing. So we got 260 in the air, which is right there. His direction is 3, which is left 5. So that's a nice shot. And he got a 35 with the hard conditions will be 45. 10, 20, 30, 45. So he made it in the fairway. So again, I'm playing that like he's shaping it to the right. So, and again, I'm penalized by that, if I get a result over here that is based on which way you're aiming. So again, I like that. It makes me feel like, I don't know if that's how that was, how the creator did it, but it seems to make sense to me. You get the risk-reward type thing. I could, if I didn't want to do the aiming, I could come short here and then try to take it from there. But obviously, in a hole this distance, you don't want to do that. So, again, I think that's working for me. So, let's see. So, the middle of the green's there. The yellow is there. So, that's a precarious position on the end. So, I'm going to go for the middle. Again, we don't have any directions or left or right here. So, I'm just aiming right down the middle on this one, so there won't be no directional on this, because again, it's a straight shot from there. So I need something that hits about 170, and again, we got 5 extra roll on the 10 on the fairway. Okay, so I need let's see, 170 for a 5. He's got 175. So you deduct 5 yards roll, but you add 5 yards roll because of if you land it. So let's do 1/7. Let's do the 7 iron. See what happens here. All right. So here's Payne Stewart trying to get on the green in regulation. That's a 25, so he gets a 3, so he's going to hit it. That's going to be probably too hard. He got all of that one. That was 2 numbers above his average, so he's sitting on 300. He hit that one 185 in the air. That puts him at 485. So, yeah, he bombed that one. 60, 70, 85. So that lands in the fairway. Let's see, his direction is left 5. Yeah, he got way too much of that one. So he's going to roll 5. We got a 10-yard, so that's going to be 15, 10. So the rough would, when you get in the rough, that cuts off half, thankfully, because if he'd have had a full fairway roll, he'd have ended up in the nasty stuff. But as it is, he ends up in the rough off the back of the green. So not a great shot there. So on the short, so he hit the fairway, but he didn't hit the green in regulation that time. So you almost have to go for from the rough here, you almost have to go for the center of the green. So that's 10, 25 by 5. And that's going to be 25. So he's 25 away. So we'll do the short wedge, of course. So again, we're going for the middle with that pin placement there. I don't want to roll back off, because if you land on the white, it's going to bounce. All shots landing on the white grid lines will bounce forward 5 yards. So again, I'm assuming that means that way. Of course, it's backward with him being on the back of the green. So that, I mean, basically, if you land there, it's just going to roll back off. So let's go for the middle, and hopefully he errs on the toward the yellow pin there. All right, so we got, again, 25. $44, that should be a good roll. We got a 3. He's a 5. Oh, yeah, that should be a very good one. So from the rough, if you aim for the middle, it's +5. And again, I do the pluses from this direction. It's just simpler for me. I mean, if I'm on the side, you know, is that plus? So what I do is just, you know, this is the direction that I'm thinking of. So when it says +5, it's this way. -5 this way, left that way, right that way. So that's just how I think it. So anyway, from the rough with a 44 is a 3, and he's a 5. So yeah, from the middle +5. So he did get a favorable there. So he hits the green finally, not in regulation. So he's got 5 away. We'll see if we add or subtract. So we subtract. So that's going to be a 10-footer for his par. So this is an important putt early on. Let's see. Putting chart 2, putting chart 3 of putting from one side of the center line to the other. And so I'm on the center line, so I'm not crossing it. So we'll say that's a 2. So a 10-footer here for Payne Stewart for par. 41 is a 19, and he's not going to make it. 5 inches short. So that's going to hurt. $63 is a 19 again, and that'll be good. So that's a bogey. So if he pars the rest of the way, that will actually tie him for Phil Mickelson with Phil Mickelson. So we'll see if he can pick that up. Again, that approach shot's what hurt him. He got too much of it. So we moved to hole number 3. Okay, got a lot of directions on here. You got some red. You got this special sand here. So looks like there's nothing on the tee. So this is a short. So this is one. Again, I'm not seeing any reason you can't play into that if you want to. Or we could hit short. Let's see, if we did a 1 wood and we tried to, I think that's draw. I think. And that's, maybe that's fade. And that's draw. But anyway, we're going right. So he hits that about 260 in the air. So, I mean, he could almost drive that if he wanted. But I don't want to do that. So, but I mean, he's going to hit into the the right there, so we're aiming right either way because I don't want to hit short of that. I want to try to get into this area if I can. Let's see. So again, we do have the extra roll to contend with. So about 245 will put you in this area if I use a 3-iron. So we'll try that. We'll aim here. So he's going to hit that about 215 in the air. Yeah, that's going to be I probably want to hit a little more in the air than that if I can. So if we hit a 2-iron, that's going to be about 225 in the air. If we go right in, we're going to be over here. So it's kind of a tricky one. Again, we could lay up here, but then you got much less, again, obviously the further you're away. So let's go with the 2-iron and see what happens. And then we're going to aim left here. But again, we're going right, so that's how I'm going to think of it. 33. I think he's going to get a, 2-iron is on the wood, so 24 is 220 in the air. You got a 6, which is straight as the arrow fly, so that's great. 20-yard roll. Add 10 for the hard conditions. So that's, 10, 20, 30. So nice shot. So again, he hit that as straight as an arrow. 24 is a good roll because 6 is 0. We got 30. So that's going to be 260 or 250. Yep, that turned out right. So he hits the fairway off the tee for the 3rd time in a row. And that puts him 75 if he aims, aim into the pin to see what happens if you hit the red. All shots landing on or rolling on the red grid lines will roll forward. In addition, an additional 5 yards. So forward, again, I'm taking it going this way. So that would be, so if you hit there, you're going to roll off the green. So, and again, the way I play it, you can't aim on anywhere on the green. Either you go for the middle or you go for the pin, and that seems to be how the rules are made. So that's kind of how I go for it. So again, let's go for the pin or for the middle of the green because that's a precarious. I don't want to roll off the back there. Well, I mean, even if you do, you've got you're in the. Well, that's rough off of the green. Yeah, so let's go for the middle. All right, so he's 75 away. 75. Let's see, 75 by 5 is still 75. It's going to be a short wedge. All right. So, going for the middle of the green. Oh, that's not good. 27. He's a 5. Yeah, ooh, hopefully he misses right or misses in a good direction here. So he's on the fairway. He's going for the middle. Short wedge, 75. Yeah, that's a bad hit. So 27. If you're going for the middle, plus 20 and right 5. 10, 20, and right 5. So that's a horrible shot. Yeah, 65 and 24. I think 24 is the worst, and 65 is close to it. So another horrible approach shot as he goes long on that one. So he finds the rough. And again, to my knowledge, there are no built-in poor lies from the rough. So I know some people have some home-brewed rules that if you get a poor lie that you might go one extra out. But in the rules, I can't find that. So I just, play from the rough is how I do it. So you almost feel like you need to go for the pin here. Of course, again, if you roll off, you're back in the rough again. So I'm going to go for the middle and hope he errs over that way. So that would be 10, 20 by 5. That's 25 away. So hopefully he can chip better here than he did that one. Because, again, he was close to it, but just a poor hit. So 25. Wedge shot. Going for the middle of the pin. 61. That's a 6. And he's a 5. So a 5-6 from the rough. Right 5. And again, I'm coming from this direction for my directional, not from where I'm hitting from. So if you're going for the middle of the pin, that's right 5. So he missed the wrong way. So he might be in trouble here. So he's on the green finally. Not in regulation for the second hole in a row. So he is 10, 15 by 5. So that is 53 feet. Let's see if we add or subtract. Oh, we add 11. Ugh. So that's a 64. So it's just going from bad to worse here. Let's see, it's putting chart 3. So we're going to lag this one. Just about have to. 15 is a 6, so he would have missed it either way. And so the lag from 64 gives him a 4-footer instead of a 5, so he did save a foot there by lagging. 46, that's a 28, but that's enough to get a 4-footer. So that is 2 bogeys in a row. Payne Stewart not off to the greatest start here at the final round of the 1999 U.S. Open. Move to hole number 4, the only 5-par on the course, or the front 9 rather. So this is a 70-par course. So you've got 1 5-par on the front 9 and 5 on the back, or 1 on the back 9. Let's see. Okay, so we add 5 yards flight to all tee shots. All shots landing on the fairway will roll 5 yards left for every 15 yards forward. The exception is any tee shot landing on a white grid line. So that's there. It will kick right 10 yards. Deduct 10 yards from the second flight. So we had 5 yards flight. So he's going to, on a 1 wood, is going to hit about 260, which is right in that area. But you got that roll, and with the hard conditions, it's going to roll right off of the green. So that's going to be a tough one. We're going to aim to the right 5, hope for the best, do a 1 wood off of the tee. He has hit the fairway the first three holes. Again, what's hurting him has been his approach shots. The last 2 have just been not very good at all. So that's a 54. That's a 7. So he hits it 255 in the air, 260 with the extra, which will put him there. His direction is 1, which is left 10. Again, we're hitting in that left, so I say left. We're doing the fade or draw, whichever one it is. So we're there. And then we got a 40-yard roll with the extra 10 for the hard conditions. So again, you got to do 5 yards left for every 15 forward. So there's 15, and he's already in the rough. So when you're in the rough, that will cut what's remaining in half. So we had 40, so that's 25. You cut that in half, it's going to be 15. 10, 15, so he rolls back into the fairway. So that worked out well. So he bounced through the rough, but had just enough left to get back on the fairway. It cut off some of his distance, but there he is nonetheless. So that's going to be 275. remaining. And he's in the fairway, so he's hit the fairway the first 4. So see what he can do here on this second shot. So he's got 275 left. His 3 wood. It's about 260 total. So again, we're going to have to see where we're going to land. So we're going to go 10 right of the line there. But again, there's no dog leg here, so I'm not playing left or right on this one. Because it's, he's straight there. There's, in essence. So we're going to try that. So we'll do a 3 wood off the fairway. 45. That's a 5. So he hits 230 in the air. So we're sitting at 290. Oh yeah, we add 10 or deduct 10 from the second shot, so that's actually going to make it 220. So that puts him at 510. Wow, he clobbered that one. His direction is 4, so he can go, 4 is right 5. Roll 30, which is 40. 10, 20. So he's in the rough. So that leaves him 20 left. And you cut it in half. So 10. Put him right in the bunker. So that's a white bunker. So hopefully that won't be too bad. So he finds the sand on his second shot. And man, look at that position. Man, these pin positions are brutal this final round. This course is playing up to its reputation here. Man, he's got fairway, so if he misses instead of rough. So I'm going to go for the pin this time. From the sand, that's a little risky. So anyway, so that's 10, 20, 5 by 10, 20, 30. So 30 by 25 is going to be 39. So 39, using a short wedge here. Going for the pin, should be exciting. So 39 puts us 26 to 50. So here we go from the sand. 35 is a 4, so that might be not too bad. So we're going for the pin high, and inside 5. So that is a great shot. Good shot. So that puts him right there. So he's in a decent shot for a birdie here to see if he can get a good roll on the distance for the putt. Last one wasn't favorable, so he hits the the green in regulation. So again, we got 5. Hopefully we don't get a 5 or 6. Well, at least it was a 4, so that makes it a 19-footer for birdie. And putting chart 1, so that's an easier green. So again, a 19-footer here for a birdie. Oh, 66-1, and he drains it. How about that? The only one on his card. So he gets back to -1, or back to +1 as he birdies hole number 4. Good. So good golf there. All right, on to hole number 5. Again, we got a long par 4. This one, I see. This is one where the second is not following that at all. So again, if he's hitting here, I'm not going to do the left or right aim. I'm going to go straight because again, you're not, he's getting, and besides, that's at the distance where he's probably not playing into that. So I'm going to do this one not aiming one way or the other. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Seems to me like they should have taken the center line to there and then made the angle. I wish they followed the fairways more. I know APBA does. Because, again, it is kind of I guess they're thinking this is where you probably would roughly be after your first shot. But still, I guess it's not a perfect science. But anyway, this one's not going to be a left or right, so let's see. All tee shots landing on the fairway will roll 5 yards left. So we're going to aim right a little bit to see if we can compensate for that. Deduct 10 yards from the second shot. So the first shot will be straight. So we'll use a 1 wood. Again, he's hit the fairway 4 holes in a row here. That last one, he got a little lucky. 46. 46. Ooh, that's not going to be a good shot. That's a 16. So he hits it 260 in the air, which is there. This direction is right 25. So that's not going to be good at all. 10, 25. He's in the rough. So his roll is 30. So that'll be cut down to 15. 10, 15. So he's not in the orange stuff, but he is in the rough. So he misses the fairway for the first time. And again, 4, 5, and 6 is a poor lie. Oh, and he gets a poor lie. So that's going to hurt him a little. He's 210 from the center of the green. So in a poor lie, 210. Yeah, so that's going to be tough. So you can hit a 3 wood, you get about 165. So if I hit 275, we deduct 10 from the second shot, so that's going to be about 155. It's going to put him at 430. So we're going to aim right about there. We're going to try that 3 wood. Again, it could be all over the place when you have a poor lie. See if he can get lucky here. So a 3 wood, poor lie in the rough. 46. Oh, that's going to be another bad one. Hit that 46 2 in a row. So that's 46 is a 15. So he hit it 95 in the air. Minus 10 is 85. So that's 275 plus 85 puts him at 360. So I aimed 1020. So 360. 1020 puts him there. He got a 2 directional, which is right 30. 10, 20, 30. So that is in the trees. Let's see. Any shots landing on the rust-colored pine, cut any roll in half and round downward. So that's 15 on the roll. So he goes another 15. So that's going to roll under this tree. But it looks like that rolls back into the back into the rough. It does. So he rolls back into the rough at least, but he's he's actually in the trees there. Look. Yeah, he's actually, as I understand it, to be in the trees, you have to be surrounded in a section that has all tree, and that's not all trees, but he is behind a tree. So we'll say he's behind the tree. He landed in the rough. See, he's going to be in short wedge distance, so we don't have to worry about the lie. He is... It's going to be 115. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 by 115. It's going to be 123. So he's 123 from the middle of the green, which is what I'm going for from there. Oh, yeah, so we got behind the trees. Again, we have medium pine trees here. So let's see what he's able to use. Oh, 66, so he can use up to a 3-wood. So he is in a good position there in the trees. 2 bad shots in a row. He's not looking good here. So he's got 123 up to but he's in the rough. So let's look at our wedges here. We got 123, so this is going to be a challenge. Going for the middle of the green. 53 is a 4, so that's not bad. So from the rough going to the middle, -5 and left 5. Oh, how about that? He lands right on the pin. Double check that. That's too good to be true. So he's rolled a 53, which is a 4 in the iron column. He's a 5, 4 from the rough to the middle, -5 and left 5. So he lands right on the pin. So as a result, 66, and he holds it from there. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, he don't hold it. So again, a 5 or a 6, it will be added. So a double. So he's 10 feet away. So great shot. He might. So I was watching the Open today, and some golfer in the past said you only have to have one good shot per hole to make par. And so this one looks like it may bear true, because that third shot was a great shot. So he's 10 foot away to saving his par here after 2 horrible shots. Let's see. Okay, use putting chart 4. All right, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult, but 10 feet here to save par. Can he do it? 61 is a 19, and he can't. 6 inches off. Dad burn it. Hoping he could save it there. 52 is a 34. That could be bad. But yeah, that's when you're inches. That's good enough. Well, bogey 5 puts him back at 2 over par again after birdieing hole number 4. All right, it moves on to 6, our first 3 par of the day. Okay, so the cream hard pan, all shots that land on the green patch of wire grass. Okay, and I roll. It's 220 to the center of the green. So that's right where the pin placement is. But if you hit the red, we'll roll backwards 10 yards. So we might want a little further than maybe 225. Of course, you do. Let's see, so 225. Let's see what he needs to get that. So if he hits, he's going to, let's see. Do you have to land on the red, or what happens if you roll on it? All shots landing or rolling on the red. So if you roll on the reds, you take 10 off. So if he hits 215, he's going to land there, and then he's going to roll too far. If he gets a 2-iron, let's see what a 4-iron would do. It's 210 in the air. Looks like we don't add or subtract anything, so that would put him there. So if you landed at 210, then you would take 10 yards off the roll. And that would be, let's try the 4-iron. Again, he's going to have to hit this one right on the screws to do what we're trying to accomplish here. So let's see what happens. Ooh, 22. And that's 4-iron is 24. So 24 is 200 in the air. Four, right 5. So we got a 20-yard roll, and he landed on the red. So you deduct 10, but we have the hard, which you add 10, so that's going to be even. So he's got a 20-yard roll then. So 10, 20. So not bad. So again, he had a 20-yard roll. You take off 10 because you hit the bank there, so to speak. But the hard conditions, landing in the fairway, you add 10. So that put him at 20 yards net. And so not bad at all. So he finds the green in regulation. Second hole in a roll. Of course, we don't have a fairway in regulation on a 3-par. So he's 10 away. That's 30. Let's see what he can get here. Oh, take off 6. So that's going to be a 24 for birdie. Putting chart 2. So 30-footer. So we're going to go for it. We're not going to lag. See what we can get here. So 30-footer. 36 is a 28. So that's not great. 30 foot. So that puts him at, going for it, puts him at 4 left. 23 is an 18, and that goes up to 8, so he drains it for par. All right. On to hole number 7. We got a 4, 4, and a 3 left here on the front 9. Now, see, this is one where it's hard, the dog leg's hard enough that, you know, they have the red to take that into account, so. Okay, so deduct 5 yards from all shots landing or rolling on the green. So with the hard conditions, that'll be a wash. So it looks like we don't have any additions or subtractions off the tee. So it looks like I need something that's going to end up about, let's see, if I hit 240, he's going to roll another 10. So I need something that does about 240. Let's see, he's a 5. He gets 235. He gets 245 out of the 2-iron. So let's do the 2-iron. We'll just aim right down the screws there. So 2-iron off the tee here. This hard dog leg right. And again, I'm not aiming left or right because I'm not trying to play into the dog leg any. So this is we're not aiming either way here. All right, so 2-iron. That's a 16. That's in the wood, so that's a 7. So he hits 215 in the air. 2, 10, 15. He's got a 1, which would be left 10, which is good. Rolls 20. We had 10 for the hard condition, so 30, 10, 20, 30. So nice shot. Finds himself right there in the fairway with a nice angle to the green. So he's hit every fairway but one today. Again, where his second shots, his approach shots, has been killing him today. You know, he hit no 3 putts. Did had that one long 19 that he drained for birdie on 4. So anyway, so he's 155 away. Let's see. The yellow is there. That's the middle. So we'll go for the middle. Could go a little long, but he gets an extra 5 yards roll because of the conditions. So we'll say he needs 155. So we deduct 5 yards roll. So actually you lose that 5 yards. It looks like all this is, again, I wish they had laid these out better, because as you can see, this is all glopped together. It would be so much better if they, made it like this is off the tee, or, at least divvy it up, because, it's hard to decipher this. I've been underlining them myself. But anyway, so 155, maybe 160 would be what I'm needing here. So he gets 165 on the 8-iron. It looks like we don't lose anything off of the shot. Let's see, 150. That's going to be short. I don't want that. So we're going to have to do the 8-iron here. He's a little bit in between clubs. We'll try the 8-iron. Aiming right down the middle. 62. That's a 4. The P doesn't apply unless you're in short range. So we got a 4. So he hits it 165. See, he's sitting at he's sitting at 245. He hit it 165. It's going to put him at 410. So 75, 85, 95, 105, 10. So he hits it long there. His direction is 3, which is nowhere. So again, we deduct 5. We add 5 for the hard condition, so that's a wash. But then when you land on the green normally, you deduct 5 yards roll, so he's going to roll back 5. So nice shot. There's a good approach shot. So he finds the green. Good position here for a birdie. He needs one. Again, he's at 2 over par right now, and he needs to shoot a par round to win the U.S. Open. So anyway, he's at 5, so that's 15 for starters. Aha, very good. 15 subtract 9, so he's got a 6-footer for birdie. Putting chart 1. All right, 6-footer here. Oh, 23 is an 18, and that's good up to 8 foot. He makes it. So, birdie on 7. That puts him at 1 over par. So good job. So hole number 8. Man, that looks like a scary fairway, doesn't it? I always like to reset everything when I get to my next hole here, just kind of starting from scratch. Again, for me, guys like ID Jester, they can keep track of, 10 different routes in their head. I have 1 or 2 paths in my head, and if I get past that, I get confused. So it helps me to kind of get a system down. So I reset my calculator, get my back to there, get my thing here, start reading the hole. So we got the cream hard pan, so hopefully won't need that. Add 10 yards roll to all tee shots traveling 290 or further. Deduct 5 yards for landing on green. You have red lines on the back, so you don't want to overshoot it. Okay, so there's a bit to remember here. Again, I wish this was organized better. So if you get a 1 wood, it looks like we're not adding anything except for maybe the roll. So his 1 wood, he's a 5, hits about 260 in the air. So we'll just aim right down the center line there. 1 wood off the tee. .23, that's a 5, so he hits his 260. Already got it there. We got a 2, so that's right 10. And so add 10 yards to all tee shots traveling 290 or further. So this is going to travel 295. So we've got 35. So we got a 55-yard roll with the course conditions. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 55. So I can't tell if that's in the rough or not. That one's close. It is not. So it is right on the edge of the fairway there. So not bad. It's yet another fairway, all but one he's hit today. And that puts him at 155 left to go to the middle of the green. And we'll aim for the middle because, again, that pin placement's not too bad. So 155 to go. Let's see our directions here. Deduct 5 yards roll from all shots landing or rolling on the green, except for the red grid lines. So, again, you don't want to go long here. So we need about 155. So that 5 yards roll along with the hard conditions should wash out. So we need about 155 total. Excuse me. So it looks like his 9-iron is going to be a little short. His 8-iron will put him at about 165. Again, you don't want to go long. 150. That's 155. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do the, 150. If he lands in the fairway, he's going to get more roll. Yeah, he's definitely in between clubs here. 165. It's going to take him 10 long if he hits it solid, and then we're going to roll off the back, but we do have some fairway back there. And let's go short. See, hopefully he can get all of it. So we'll do a 9-iron. Again, we're going right down the middle here. 13, so he got a 5, so that's exactly his number there, so 145. He's sitting at 315 plus 145. Puts him at 460. Again, we went down the middle, so that puts him there on the green. His directional is 3, which is none. Again, we add 5 for the card conditions. We deduct 5 from the special hole. When you land on the green, you lose 5 for the spin. So that puts him there. So not a great shot, but he's on the green. So he's hit all but 2 greens in regulation. All right, so he's got a 10, 15 by 5, which is 53. Ooh, minus 7. That puts him at a 40. 46. Putting chart 2. On all missed putts from past the pin, double the distance. So I'm not past the pin. So putting chart 2 it is. 46. He would need a 1 So the only one he has is 66. So we're going to lag this. Watch him get a 66. 55. That's a good one. But not, it wouldn't have went in. So at 56, he's 2 foot off. So nice lag putt. 2 foot remaining for his par. 13 gives him a 17, and that's good enough to sink it. So he's battling here. 1 over par. Going to hole 9. This is an enjoyable course. All right, so again, reset myself. Reset my calculator. All right, so hole number 9. So we got the cream stuff again. All shots landing, alluring on the red lines, white lines. So again, we got a par 3 here. We got 175 to the center of the green. And you got that, and I got a false front there, so 175. Let's see what he's got that hits 175. So a 7 iron will give him 180. Again, you got an extra, but you have to, let's see, all shots landing or rolling on. So you're going to lose 10 if you land here and roll. So you want to go past that. So 175 in the air. So we're going to use the 7 iron. All righty. See, if we go down the center line, you don't hit that. The red's only over here next to the pin placement. And if he hits it weak, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll aim down the center line. I'm not going to attack the pin. 46. Oh, crap. 15. That's not good. So he hit it 175 in the air, which is good. That put him right there. His direction is 2, which is right 10. Oh, that's actually not bad. And let's see. He's got a roll of 5. We got a roll of 10. Because of the conditions, you lose 5 normally, so that's going to be a roll of 5. So he's going to roll off the back of the green there. So he lands in the fairway. So again, that was tough. That 10 direction is what hurt him. Again, off 10 to the right. Not a great shot. So he doesn't hit the green in regulation, so that leaves him a 10 from the fairway. So I'm going to attack the pin here. So that's just 10 straight up. We're going to go for the pin. So it's not a bad position here. So 10 going for the pin from the fairway. See if he can get up and down here, or maybe just up. That would be good. 16 is a 6P. You add 12 to P, so that would be an 18, which is not going to be a great shot. But from the fairway to the pin, 18 and a 5, that's pin high. So now, as I understand it, when you're from the fairway and you got 1 to 15, you don't get to do the roll to see if it went in. So we just got roll 1 die here to see where it landed. Dang it. That's 8 feet. Again, because of the hard conditions, a 5 or a 6, you double it instead of what it says. So you roll 1 die when you land on the pin. So decent chip, 8 foot. Could have been a little better. Those hard conditions hurt us there. So we got putting chart 2. Just make sure. Sometimes you have directions where if you miss the back, you have to add something, but I'm not seeing any there. So, all right, putting chart 2 and 8. He needs 8 foot here for par, but he really needs this one. 45 is a 17. 17 makes it up to 8. Boy, he just trickles in for the par. So there's the front 9. He ends up shooting a 36. which is 1 over par. And again, he needs to shoot a 70 in order to win the championship. So that'll do it for the front nine. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Thanks again to my buddy who got this for me. I thought, playing around and putting it on the YouTube channel was a fair trade for a course, so I appreciate that and enjoying it very much. Giving me an opportunity to play a golfer I probably would never played, Payne Stewart, so I'm enjoying it. Obviously, he's not the putter Arnold Palmer was, but I think he has, Arnold, his short game, he has a lot of those P's, and looks like Payne Stewart has fewer, so his short game looks like it might be better than Arnold's. But, you kind of learn the cards as you go along, so I will get the back nine on, and we'll see if he's able to repeat history here. Looks like the course is playing pretty close to real life, so that's is fun and encouraging. So anyway, I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you next time.